personality-wise, if you were to say, like, this is what I want this team to look like if we're talking to you in, like, mid-January, like, what are the traits that you want to see out of this team that you think that they might have in them?
Yeah, tough and unselfish.
Hello and welcome into another edition of 3Ma. I am John Kurtz, joined by Cole Manbeck, and I'm sure everybody can recognize our guest right now, head coach of the Kansas State Wildcats, men's basketball coach Jerome Tang is with us. We are very excited to talk to him for the first time in a minute. Really looking forward to that conversation, and you guys know what that means. Calls for a toast from our friends at Holiday Distillery. Make sure you get their Ben Holiday bottled in bond bourbon for the rest of football season. If you're going to be out at tailgates, if you're going to be back at home, it's perfect for any occasion. Same with their 360 vodka, so they've got something to please everybody. But we love our friends at Holiday Distillery, great K-Staters who support us here on the show. So make sure you get out and support them. Coach Tang, it's great to have you here in the middle of Shark Week. How's Shark Week going with everybody?
Man, it's going well. Going well. We've had 4 really good days. Tomorrow will be Thursday, and it's the last day our championship run. And I'm excited to see how the guys attack it. And they've done a great job of staying together. So that I've been proud of that.
I feel like maybe we asked Phil this once, but what's the toughest thing that they have to do during Shark Week from like a physical workout standpoint?
What there's a lot of running. Yesterday was like an obstacle course, flipping tires, pushing sleds, get different. It was a little different, and that they work some different muscles that they don't normally work, and then just show up the next morning, early, and 6:00 we start, and just be ready to go again. It's, your brain tells you can't take another step. You can't run one more line. You can't do something, but it's all paper ceilings. You just have to punch through it. And what happens at the end of it is they look back and they say, man, I didn't think I could, but I was able to. And what allowed me to was my teammates pushing me, my care for them, like they did it together. We say we suffer together. And it builds perseverance, and perseverance produces character, and character provides hope, and hope never disappoints. And so that's the whole premise of Shark Week.
Coach, how's the current roster gelling right now?
Man, good. The guys, man, we have, we've always had really high character guys, but they haven't always been mature. Right. And everybody matures at different points and times. And so, but this year we have a very mature group in their approach to how they conduct their daily life and how they approach the game of basketball. And so, very pleased with that. And they like each other. I mean, they're fun to be around, and they have fun with each other, but they know how to be serious when it's time to be serious.
We'll talk about some of the players on the roster, Coach, but first I want to ask you about Matthew Driscoll, assistant coach. What can you tell us about Coach Driscoll, your relationship, which I know goes back a long time, and what he brings to this coaching staff?
High energy guy, just full of life, constant, like he just eats, sleeps, and breathes basketball, right? And always thinking, how can we get better? And then he's such a connector, right? He just like brings the staff together. He's constantly coaching everyone. And, there's just so much to do at this position that, one person can't do it, and you need multiple people. So to have a guy of his caliber of a coach, caliber of a person, and I absolutely love him, and him and Carrie, his wife, are my daughter's godparents. So, the relationship is bigger than the game of basketball, but everything we do in this program is more than the game of basketball, and he just fits that. And very, very passionate about offense, and as I am about defense, and you need that balance, right? And his teaching and attention to detail, I think, is going to allow us to take another step. It's not necessarily that we're going to play differently, but hopefully we will execute better, and recruiting is going to help that also.
You let me kind of right into that, and you answered this a little bit, but I mean, he's a guy that has a reputation for high volume of threes, pushing it like up tempo. How can he kind of weave some of that in to mix with the philosophy that you guys have already had here?
Well, we've always wanted to play fast. I mean, our first year with Keith at the point guard, and our pace improved. We played fast in the non-conference and played faster during conference. And just we want to get up and down the floor. I like watching us score points. I mean, that's why I don't play soccer, because you only get to score 1 point a game. Like, who wants to run for 90 minutes and score one goal? But the way he teaches it, okay, and his attention to detail, and he says all the time that simple is sophisticated, and the guys are really buying into it. And what we want to do is just embrace playing with pace and space, and having that there, and someone who's fighting for that as much as I'm there fighting on the other end, it really brings a good balance.
Would you head into a new season here? I know you've had, I'm sure, a lot of time to reflect back on last season. Like, what stands out to you the most? What sticks with you in terms of lessons learned from last season and where things move forward here?
Yeah, I wasn't the best version of myself last season, and so I take full responsibility for us not playing up to the level that we were capable of playing up to. And we showed spurts of it at times, but we should have been better earlier, and we weren't, because I wasn't better earlier. And so, too many things that had very little to do with basketball impacted the approach to basketball. And so hopefully I feel like I've learned from that, and I'm going to be a better version of me this year.
Well, speaking of that, Coach, I mean, look, we know the college landscape is ever changing. Now you're going into revenue sharing, et cetera. But how have you adjusted how you maybe evaluate guys in the portal after going through it now a few seasons? And maybe what traits are you looking for in guys that you bring in?
Yeah, for me, it was finding out like the talent, right? Like, I thought we were talented last year, but there were things that frustrated me. And so this year, I tried to avoid those things that would frustrate me. And there was the approach to finding guys who had a more mature approach to how they play the game of basketball, how they work on their craft, and finding guys who had, some consistency to their schedule. I just, with having guys for a short period of time, you need guys who have some habits that are already in place, because you don't get the 4 years to help teach them, the habits that it takes to, be a champion. And so we had to make sure that we evaluated that part as much as we evaluated their ability to play the game, or how good of kids they were, and so.
Yeah. I want you to tell me if you agree with this assessment. We had Isaac Trotter of CBS Sports on the show a couple months ago to talk about the roster that you had assembled. And he noted one major difference this year from last is you're more loaded up at guard and in the backcourt than maybe you were last year, when you might have been more front court heavy. First of all, do you agree with that? And second, was it a major goal of yours this offseason to farther boost the backcourt?
Yeah, two things, more guards and bigger guards. And so, because we struggled defensive rebounding, and part of that I attribute to that we switched so much on defense and got caught with little guards on forwards. And this year, our guards are 6'3" to 6'7", and that's going to help us. And we have more of them.
at this point, I mean, I know we are late in the game here, right? But yeah, always be recruiting, right? ABC, always be recruiting. Is the roster done? Do you feel like at this point for the season?
No, we're still looking. So.
Okay. Well, along those lines, I know you voiced a little bit of frustration with this. I think a lot of us fans were very frustrated with it, and it sucks for Tyreek, but the Tyreek Smith situation with his waiver not working out and how the NCAA really dragged their feet on it. Just how tough was that from a program standpoint, and just for him and for you as a coach having to sit and wait for that?
Yeah, more frustrated for the kid, right? Like, this process could have gone a lot quicker. Wish there was just more transparency and clarity in what they were looking for and how they were making decisions. And then we could have helped him because he missed out on, maybe going to,
Right.
playing on the summer league team, maybe, going to someone's training camp. He missed out on some of those opportunities, the first wave of signings overseas, and those contracts. And so, but man, he was such a terrific young man. I was here at workouts all summer long and, just being supportive and, he's all in. He was all in on being at K-State. And so it hurt me that he didn't get to experience that and experience it with these guys.
Coach, I want to ask you just on that subject, the front court depth that you have. How do you feel about it? You bring in Doreen Buka. I hope I pronounced that correctly. You bring him in. You've got Kamari McGriff, obviously, as well. And some other guys that we can get into. Moby's back, right? Like, how do you feel about the front court depth?
Yeah, with Elias and Moby and Kamari, Doreen, Marcus Johnson, Taj, solid, feel good. Each guy adds something a little bit different to the equation. College basketball is a guards game though, and so I feel like really good about the guards that they can make the game easier for our forwards. Moby's taken a jump, right? In his approach, just how much he's enjoying getting better as a player and playing. He's healthy, for the most part this summer and was really able to work on his game. Kamari, had a great career at Wilmington and went to the NCAA tournament, and he's always been a high level finisher. And so I don't expect that to change. He's added 20 something pounds of muscle to his body to prepare, for the Big 12. And so, just those two, Doreen, I mean, it's 7'2" and the way he can move and catch. And, it's just, he's interested. It's going to take him a little time to adjust, but his upside is incredible. And then Elias, at 6'9", and he's a forward, but he can guard all 5 positions on the floor. He can dribble, pass, and shoot, and he just makes the people on the floor better when he's out there. And so, Marcus Johnson is a weapon, right? He's a weapon who is building his way into becoming a player. And so, looking forward to, watching that continual growth. Now, if we can add one more, I'd love to add one more, but, so we're just constantly flipping rocks, and trying to, put the right group together to give us a chance, to, be the best version of ourselves. And, I never start a season without thinking about how we can win the last game. Right. And that's what we're doing. We're trying to put a group together that can have a chance to win the last game and then put them in a system both offensively and defensively that gives us that chance.
Calling all Chiefs fans, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. Enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pre-game coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's how I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
What's up, everybody? Benny Heiss with KCSN, betting analyst for Kansas City Sports Network. And Missouri, get ready. The wait is almost over because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State. And guess what? You can get started today because new Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets once DraftKings Sportsbook launches on December 1st. You can download it now, place a $5 bet once they are live. Guys, DK Sportsbook brings everything you need to really elevate your game day. You got live in-game betting, super fast payouts, endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. And when they are live in Missouri, you're going to be betting with the Sportsbook app trusted by millions. It is safe, secure, fast money withdrawals. That's the place you want to play. So here's what you do. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code KCSN to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when DraftKings Sportsbook goes live on December 1st. That is code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Remember, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You must be 21 plus, physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they're issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms are available at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, we're over 13 minutes in, and we haven't even asked you about PJ Haggerty, Coach. Obviously, a huge addition to the team. What makes him special, and what's been the experience with him thus far in getting to coach him?
Yeah, no, and he's an All-American last year for a reason, right? Played more minutes than any other player in college basketball, shot more free throws, his ability to get to the line, and just beat guys off the bounce, the physicality that he plays with at the guard spot, and he wins. He wants to win. That's what he wants to do, and just excited about winning. And another guy who takes what he does in the game of basketball very serious, and we're helping push him and stretch him, and he's embracing it. So, man, when you have a dynamic guard at the top, right, who can just like beat guys off the bounce or, step back and hit a three, and, his teammates like him, and he enjoys playing with them, and they enjoy playing with him. It just gives you another dimension. And so excited about him and what he brings to the table, and been really excited about his approach and his growth this summer.
One of the guys I was most excited about when you landed him, when this happened during portal season, was Nate Johnson, another guy that has a really great ability to get to the rim, get to the free throw line. What do you like about Nate, and what does he bring to this roster?
Think about this, Nate, 3 NCAA tournaments, Akron, and he was not just player of the year in the conference, he was defensive player of the year in the conference also. And so, Nate's got some ability, man. And he coasts sometimes though. Like he's a happy kid that sometimes I have to make a bad call at practice to get him to be his most competitive self, and excited to stretch him and grow him, because I mean there's a lot that he can bring to the table that he hasn't even realized yet. And so just another dynamic guard who makes winning plays. And last year, they're down in the conference championship game half, and they're down most of the second half, and then they go on this run, and at the end of the game, he gets a steal and goes down and makes a layup to win the game. He just makes winning plays, and so excited about that.
Andre Kostic is another one that you went to get in the backcourt from overseas, which is what everybody's doing now, heading to Europe to find guys in the portal to come to your roster. What do you like about him? Obviously, he's high upside. Like NBA scouts seem to really like what his game is. Where's he at right now?
Andre is a talent, and he's gonna take him a little bit because he is 18 years old. And even though he's played professionally for a couple of years, he's still 18 years old. And this is his first time being away from his family. So there's that adjustment there for him. But the basketball stuff on offense comes pretty easy for him, and now he's going to adjust to the athleticism and the speed and stuff. But man, he loves being in the gym. He loves, working on his game and getting better. His teammates love him. Got a great smile and is very funny. But he's working really hard, but he's got a gift, right? He can like shoot that thing. It just comes out of his hands very easy. Reminds me offensive talent wise of Matthew Meyer, who we had at Baylor. Right? Like you put him in the game and he just brings electricity to it. He's going to make something happen. And the other guy I haven't mentioned is Abdi Bashir, who was the best shooter in America with 128 threes last year. And man, he's been such a dynamic leader. And you can, like, every day, man, he is a worker, right? He's an everyday guy, and he wants to get better, and he's in the weight room. And both him and Dre are 6'6", 6'7", and they can both really shoot the ball. And so, and they compete at a high level. So excited about those guys.
Well, you talked about a couple of the guys from Europe, Coach, which Europe's a market you guys hit hard this offseason. I'm curious, like, what's that experience like recruiting Europe? And we know more coaches are recruiting over there. And is that a market you'd like to recruit harder moving forward?
The thing about those guys is that they've played with older guys who do this thing for a living, right? And, we call it rev share or whatever we want to call it. In the day, we're paying these guys to play basketball. And excuse me. So, being around older guys, they learn how to prepare, right? And they're in a situation where if they don't perform, they're going to get fired over there. And so they've been in that environment. So now they're coming here. They already have a more professional approach to what they do. So I appreciate that because, we only have them for 10 months or whatever it is. You want guys that already have good habits. Excuse me.
You're okay.
And then, I was blessed to be able to go over there and see him. A-Dub and I, Anthony Winchester, and got to see all three guys and meet them in person before they got here. And man, that was great, and just it was a lot of fun. And I look forward to going back. And this is a market I hope that we can continue to bring in guys from different places that have the right approach to what they're doing and fit what we're about.
Well, you mentioned maturity, and you talked about Elias already, right? But he's 22 years old. One of the things, Coach, that stood out to me when he went back, I think the guys went back right for a couple weeks before school, and like every social media he posted, he's just working out, just constantly working, and with his training staff, et cetera, working on his game. That maturity really, really struck me. I'm curious, like, what you talked about it a little bit, but is his game kind of model a Coleman Hawkins type in terms of his versatility and skill set?
Versatility and skill set. Yes. Approach different. What I like about Elias, he reminds me of a kid I coached named Royce O'Neal, and Royce with the Phoenix Suns. But when Elias is on the floor, you always have another point guard on the floor, meaning that he sees the next pass and that was Royce. Royce like made the ball never sticks in his hands, and he makes the right cuts, and just makes everybody around him better, right? And that's what I appreciate about Elias. He can guard 5 positions, and and he's not limited to where he can play on the floor. He's a basketball player, and he makes the people around him better.
CJ Jones is somebody who entered the portal, winds up coming back to your roster this year. How has CJ changed, whether it's game, approach, anything like that from what we saw from him last season?
No, it's man, CJ's been great since he's been back. Happy to have him back. Wish we could have had him for the summer, but it worked out that way. I'll tell you, having CJ, Taj, David Castillo, and Moby, 4 guys back, it just adds so much. Like you go to the team retreat, and there are some things that we have to do, ropes courses, different things that guys look at and go, oh my goodness, I'm not climbing that 50-foot pole or whatever. And Taj just flies up it, and David flies up it, and then all the other guys go, man, they made that look easy. Let me do it, and they just move you along quicker. You get ready to do a drill, and you put them at the front of the line. You say, this is what we're doing, and they execute it, and then the next guy, okay, that's what we do. Where you don't have to like teach everything, that those guys can help you. It's just being able to bring some guys back is extremely valuable.
Personality wise, if you were to say like, this is what I want this team to look like, if we're talking to you in like mid-January, like what are the traits that you want to see out of this team that you think that they might have in them? Yeah,
tough and unselfish, just that tough and unselfish, willing to, make tough plays. Part of it is being tough enough not to do stupid things, not to foul at the end of a shot clock, and, just doing all the little things, and then, just sharing the ball. Because if we share the ball and get it to the open person, we're going to make shots.
Last one for me, Coach, before we get out of here. You kind of hit on this already too, but PJ, Nate, like those are guys that get to the rim at a high rate, right? I mean, I think PJ's shots, 40% of his shots came at the rim last year. Maybe Nate was around 44%. Their free throw rates were astronomical, especially PJ. Was that a focal point for you to address as well, to get some guys that can get to the rim more, finish inside, and as a correlation to that, get to the foul line more?
I can't tell you that we actually sat and talked about that particular thing. It was more about having bigger guards, guys with some size who could defensively, just impact the basketball, like not just necessarily getting steals, but just a big body that, we didn't get bullied at the point of attack. And so that was helpful. But, anytime you got a guard who can get downhill and put pressure on the defense, it makes offense easier for everybody else. And both of those guys at the end of a shot clock can go do that. And so that helps you as a coach.
Before I let you go, I do want to ask about, I mean, obviously you have a pretty good idea of what the conference schedule is going to be year in, year out, but non-con that you're looking at this year, like what are your overall thoughts on what kind of a test that's going to be for your team?
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like we've put together a schedule that is really going to test us, but also prepare us for what we're going to see in the Big 12. There's nothing like the Big 12. It's the best conference in America. It's season in, season out, and everybody in our league's gotten better, and so, you gotta like test yourself where you go in. So going to Indiana, going to Creighton are going to be great test. Bringing in Seton Hall, and hard to get teams to come here, but Shaheen being willing to come here this year, and Cal with their return game, because we went out there our first year, and so being able to have 2 high-level home games, and then we go play that MTE in Kansas City, and you've got Mississippi State and Nebraska there, and those in New Mexico, and you're going to get 2 good games there on a neutral site. So Tulsa, another one that's coming in, and so we've got. Well, I feel like we've tested ourselves with the non-conference, give ourselves a chance. That if we can take care of business, we'll be set up pretty good moving into the Big 12, and then that's a whole nother beast.
Yeah. Well, we know that, Coach. It's been great having you back on. appreciate you making some time for us today, and best of luck as you guys continue through and get ready for the season.
Hey, well, thank you guys. Thank you for everything you do for K-State athletics and men's basketball program in particular. But, and I love watching you guys, love listening to you, and love the way you really support this university. And, I look forward to you having a good picture, Cole, for the girls to put up there on the wall. All right. We're gonna do something special, make it happen.
Yeah, you do that, and then next time we bring you on, Coach, we'll have a picture of the girls maybe up somewhere in the NCAA tournament at us traveling around following you guys like we did in New York City.
Hey, let's do it.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Go Cats.